Spanish is a required thing in schools in Michigan. Well, it's great. I love it. It's beautiful. Everyone should learn a second language, right? But I got some native speakers. You got some native speakers. Let's talk about those native speakers. So here's the thing. When I was in high school, I was the native speaker who had to take Spanish class. First day in Spanish class, I was chatting with some friends and my teacher was like, yo, you need to take the test out. And I said, ooh, why? First of all, I didn't want to get singled out. It was kind of obvious because look at me, your girl's Mexican. Although, guys, those stereotypes are bad. Please don't assume that someone that looks Mexican or Hispanic is actually Hispanic, because Hispanic means Spanish speaking. And not all Mexicans who look like this speak Spanish, all right? Can we break that stereotype? Thank you very much. Let's proceed. So, your girl, speaking in Spanish, obviously did not have to take Spanish 1 to learn about shoes and calcetines y pantalones y el gato y etc. The teacher noticed that, told me to take the test, told me to take the test out. They were like, yo, I'm gonna put you in Spanish 2. And I was like, but why? Because I had to leave my friends and I was with all these upperclassmen. That's freaking scary for a freshman to be with a bunch of upperclassmen, but it happened. And then I proceeded to almost fail Spanish 2 because they expected me to already know all the grammar terms. And it was so frustrating. Please, please, please make sure you shut this ish right down. If you hear anyone say, you're Mexican, aren't you supposed to be passing this class with an A? Ooh, makes me so angry. Just thinking about it. That is the worst thing. Don't assume. Don't assume about people. Oh, these stereotypes. Yo, you can tell I am passionate about this. I was passing literally by my ability to speak Spanish and see patterns. I had no idea what conjugation was. I didn't know what cognates were. Yo, I had no idea what an infinitive was until college. Okay? So this is the reason why when I decided to become a Spanish teacher, I was like, yo, I'm gonna do it for all those native speakers because they're being misunderstood and they're being pushed on to higher classes without knowing the basics. And I have tried to advocate for a native speakers class that is an intro class because it's not that they can't speak in Spanish, it's that they don't know the terminology. Anyways, here is my hope that you as a Spanish teacher or a language teacher are using these tips to empower your native speakers. First thing is please, please, please emphasize how important the grammar is to these kiddos. Why they should take time to learn the grammar. In English, we do this. It's how we know that I came was from the past tense. And the same thing is in Spanish. But most native speakers have never thought about that, have never broken it down. They just know what it means because they've used it to communicate. The way to tell them is like, yo, when it changes the word. If you don't add an accent, it could change the word. We all know the difference between anos and años, right? Talk about embarrassing, or those false cognates. Embarazada, anyone? So emphasize the grammar. Why is it important? Why should they learn it? Why do they need to know those terms, especially in education, as they proceed to Spanish 2, 3, 4, AP, advanced literature in college? These are all skills that I wish someone had sat down and told me, yo, this is why it's important in high school. Number 2 is encouraging them and providing opportunities to share cultural experiences. For example, talking about El Camino de Santiago or a specific city during Semana Santa and where people go to vacation in Mexico. Because a majority of the time I have someone who has either been to Mexico or is from Mexico and they're like, oh, I've been there before, or oh, I know that place is close to where my family is from. And so giving the kiddos an opportunity to relate how it connects to their life is so important. And honestly, the easiest time to do it is with the food unit. For anyone who has a native speaker, chances are they're making traditional food. So of course I bring them up and I have kids that talk about them. Habichuelas, ropa vieja, your girl loves los tamales and pozole. Whatever it is that they're talking about or they eat at home traditionally, give them an opportunity to share about it. Do they like it? Like what ingredients are in it? Then they can learn the vocab for those ingredients. Describing the dish. What does it look like? How does it taste? And those are all vocab words that you can include that gives them an opportunity to use the experiences that they already have. Number 3 is accept multiple dialects. With native speakers, you could have them from all over the world, right? The worst thing that you can say is that's the wrong word. Please, 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 if you take anything away from today, please accept different dialects. Now, if you have a specific vocab lists that they need to know for the assessment. This was my experience. It's very doable. Give them the list and say, hey, I know that you typically say alberca, but the word that we're going to focus on right now is piscina. So whenever you see the word piscina in your head, remember that that means alberca. Giving them the opportunity to look at it that way and not saying like, oh, no, alberca is wrong. You need to use piscina. If for whatever reason a kiddo is like, yo, I don't need to learn this, explain it to them why it benefits them to know more words. You're expanding your vocabulary just like you would in English. You're going to sound more professional. There's a difference between professional and home, right? Casual language. So it's very important for them to know both sides. Number 4 is providing opportunities to excel. This is specifically for a native speaker. And if you're a language teacher, you know that you want to build their confidence because learning another language is so hard and it's so frustrating and there's so much to learn and you feel like you're never going to get it. Adding another reason to why they may think that they suck at the language is not the way to go. To empower them, you give them the opportunity to do a speaking activity where they're going to excel because they are speaking all the time, right? At home or whatever. Or a comprehension activity where all they have to do is listen to a story and then at the end they have to answer a few questions in English. Making them feel confident in their skills will also then go over to their grammar and their writing. I was so frustrated because I could never pass a grammar quiz. A majority of my class was grammar stuff. It was, can you identify the preterite tense? Can you identify the imperfect? And I'm like, bro, I have no idea what this means, but I know this is all from the past. ¿Quién sabe? Not me. Providing those speaking activities where they're going to excel because they typically have the accent down and sometimes they need to practice speaking out loud because they're very self-conscious of what they're going to sound like. You got to remember also that native speakers are balancing 2 different worlds right now. They're trying to mesh their expectations as Spanish speaker in their family, whatever that looks like or whatever that's supposed to be, but then also somehow combine that with what it means to be living in the US and speaking English and the expectations that we have here for our teenagers. So there is a lot complicated stuff. Yo, I can make a whole other video about this. But this is why it is so important for you to be someone who empowers them and provides other opportunities to show that they can actually kick butt. Número 5 es representación. Show them that not all Latinos or Hispano hablantes look like this or like telenovelas like they see on TV, that we are all very different. We look very different, range from different skin tones. We have different stories and we're all valid. Break that stereotype. Include our Afro-Latinos, okay? Include them. Pictures, dude, include pictures. It is so important for you to have different kinds of people in those pictures. Growing up in the US, we don't see a lot of people that look like us. As a kid, I saw J-Lo. That was the only person that I saw. That is currently changing and it is so cool to see. But it's also really important for them to see role models and successful people from other countries. Not just for your native speakers, also for your monolinguals. Who they think is important or who is the most popular singer or TV star in Argentina or Cuba, in Chile. They're important because you never know which one is going to click for a student and that's going to be their role model. Because, you know, we all want someone to look up to. Representación. That is las 5 formas en que puedes apoyar a tu hispanohablante, make them feel confident, and also make them hopefully enjoy the class instead of dreading coming to it like I did for 2 years. Hated it. I should have pursued AP, but I didn't because I felt like an idiot every time I was in that class. So yeah. That is it. Let me know if you have any questions. What are you doing to empower your native speakers? Let me know. And stick around for more videos about teaching Spanish or teaching in general. Hasta luego, chicos.
The only thing I ever wanted starts with us taking the chance. Not like anything we've done before. Yeah. Now it's time for something better. And time for us to follow our dreams. No, we can't stay no more. Come run away.